Let me holler at you guys real quick. So I got a message on Instagram, and I don't answer every single Instagram DM. Usually I focus on my paid students first. It's permanent coaching through there. So if you guys want immediate help, go through there. Yeah, it's a little expensive. However, you get help now, and it goes on for as long as you need it to go on for. This guy reached out to me on Instagram and said, "Hey Kyle, I broke no contact after 2 weeks." And he goes into his entire story, and I don't want to, bore you guys with the details. He's like, "I broke no contact after 2 weeks. Is it too late?" is basically what he's saying to me. The most important thing is, and I answered him, right? But the most important thing for you guys to understand is no contact isn't just like this thing that you have to achieve, okay? A lot of people look at it, they're like, okay, I've been doing no contact for 3 weeks, and she has to come and get her stuff, so I have to restart, right? It's not like, and this is why men are very simple in terms of the way that we think, right? So we think of goal-oriented things and getting shit done. That's how we're wired. That's what our masculine energy is all about. When we do no contact, we think, okay, if I get 30 days in or 60 days or 90 days in, that means I'm going to get some sort of progress. That's what so many of my students assume. And this guy here's assuming the same thing. When you put yourself in the shoes of the woman that broke up with you, she broke up with you. If she left you, usually it's because of one of two things: complacency and security. Now, those two things cause too much negativity over a consistent amount of time. Or if that negativity is intense, meaning say you call her names or you do something that makes her feel really, really shitty. This video isn't going to be about why women are a certain way and, what the social narrative is today, but I'm just talking about attraction and what works and what doesn't work. So when a woman decides to walk away from you and she sees you in a negative lens, the no contact rule is really supposed to help just disconnect that intense negative feeling. That's really all it's for. So the guys think that they need to get to a certain place mentally, 90 days, 120 days, whatever, right? But in her mind, she's going off of how she feels. On day 22, don't take this to heart, but on day 22, she might go, "You know what? I'm missing him today," right? It might be something like that, as long as you don't beg and plead and keep blowing up her phone and keep invading her space, showing up at her work and shit like that. It could be on day 62. It could be on year 1. Who knows? The point is, you guys need to detach from that woman. You need to focus on your own life. And you need to improve. Take a hard look at yourself in the mirror and say, okay, what is it that I need to do? So this guy here, the advice that I gave him was, okay, you broke no contact. He says, is it too late? No, it's not too late. However, every single time that you keep going into her orbit after she asks for space, right? Because we know what space really means, right? When she asks for space, it just means, look, I want to get away from this negativity and go experience some positivity. That positivity can be other guys. It could be her going out and having fun and drinking. It could be whatever she wants. That's no longer your concern, fellas. And I know that's hard to hear because this was your girl, right? This was the girl that you thought you were going to marry. This was the girl that that she was saying, hey, let's have kids. Let's get married. She was saying all that stuff, a month ago. So it's hard to hear that she's now with another guy or sleeping with another guy, or she's out having fun drinking, putting herself into situations that worry you. See, this is what a lot of guys do. They put themselves into these fatherly positions, like they must, protect their girls at all times. Look, the woman that you're dating is a human being, and she's going to do whatever she wants with who she wants when she wants. It's your job to make yourself and the energy that you're giving off, the vibe that you're giving off, the most attractive one that you can. I hope it makes sense. So I told him no. Absolutely not. It's not too late. However, you need to keep going. You need to keep focused on your growth. His personal issue is he's too damn insecure. He's too worried about what people think about him. So because I'm not going to do deep dive coaching into people for free, because a lot of the times they really just want me to say that shit that they don't want to hear what they have to hear. They want to hear what they want to hear, basically, right? So when I tell them what they need to hear, they get pissed off and they go off and, they're like, fuck you, basically. So that's why I don't waste my time with free coaching very much anymore, because at least the paid students will listen for a little while and say, okay, I'll take that to heart because I paid to be here and I'm willing to put in some of the work. This guy, like I told him, look, stop worrying about everything outside of yourself. Here's a little tactic that, and all of you guys can use if you have a lot of anxiety in your life. So what I do, because again, I do a lot of business stuff that takes a lot of masculine energy, let's say, right? I got to get over the nerves. I got to do a lot of cold calling kind of stuff. I got to talk to people and get to know them and build rapport if I don't know them. Basically talking to a lot of strangers. You get used to it and it no longer matters anymore, right? What I think about and what I do, this works really well for me, is it's called the 24-hour rule. So everybody who is suffering from anxiety and they're going through breakups and stuff like that, they are thinking so far into the future about, things that they don't even know is going to come to fruition at all. And most of that, like 95% of it, isn't going to come true, right? That's what fear is, false expectations appearing real. And then they're thinking so far into the past that the past is the past. You can't do anything about that. But a lot of guys get trapped in their shame and trapped in the mistakes that they made. And instead of just learning from it and saying, okay, I'm not going to make those mistakes again. So I use the 24-hour rule, meaning don't think past 24 hours in each direction, right? Like, for example, guys are basically getting so worried about shit that they did 3 months ago. Oh, I never told her I loved her that one night on August 6th when she told me she loved me. And I think that was the beginning of what caused her to break up with me. And I'm like, wow, like, So, and then the guys are like, is she going to reach out to me? You know how often I hear that? Is she going to reach out to me? Right? When can I expect to hear from her? And I say, apply the 24-hour rule. So that means it's called a pattern interrupt. That's why you guys need to be doing a lot of reading, because this stuff that I learn helps like breaking habits and stuff. You guys have a lot of bad habits. You guys have a lot of habits that are going to take you in a negative direction. And everything in life is habits and rituals. So this is called a pattern interrupt. When you think of something past 24 hours, right? Write this on your walls, your mirrors, everywhere. 24-hour rule. So then you see it everywhere. And you're like, oh, have I been thinking past 24 hours? Now, here's a little thing. Yes, have your goals. Review your goals, right? When the 24-hour stuff has a positive effect on your life, that's okay. But when it's a negative thing and something that you're worried about that creates anxiety, don't worry about it. Have the goals that you have in life, like you want to make X amount of money, you want to upload your first YouTube video, you want to start a podcast, whatever it is that you want to do. Break that long-term goal down into something that you can do every day. So for example, let's say you want to make $10,000 a month, okay? So what are the steps to do so? So for me, right, when I first started this YouTube journey, uploading at least one video per day and monetizing that through advertising. Now, AdSense doesn't pay that well. So I knew that I had to do it through either coaching, selling a product, or ads, or all three, right? Or a course. So what I did instead was I said, okay, I'll do this, and then I'll start other YouTube channels. I'll pay other people to start other YouTube channels and do them for me. And that's what I've been doing. And on those channels, I always sell a product. So you want to be selling a book, a course, on whatever niche you get into, or niche for some of you guys. That was the goal. So I broke that down into a daily goal, something that I can contain in a 24-hour space. That's it. So all of you guys can use working out as your example. So if you want to lose 50 pounds, you got to break that down into what the 24-hour rule is, and that's it. So break everything in your life down to the day. You have one day. And pretend tomorrow's not coming. So just execute. That gives you the execution rights. So do that, okay? And that will help you in your relationship and emotional issues so that you can move forward day by day by day. One more thing I want to add to the guys who are hurting, right? Look, if you're hurt and you feel like crying a lot, go for a walk and give yourself, and remember, stay within the 24 hours as much as you can. Do a 1 to 2 hour walk by yourself and actually think about her and grieve grieve the process. And I want you to listen to the book Letting Go. It's a great book. So the author is David Hawkins. Yeah, right there at the bottom. David Hawkins, okay? So you guys can find that book on Amazon. It's on Prime. You guys can get it like the first day or whatever. Listen to that while you're grieving so you can get both, how to get over things, and then you can grieve it at the same time. Whatever works for you guys. That's what works for me. You just have to take action and not be afraid, okay? So use that, go forward, and you will be much stronger. So good luck. Love you guys. Coaching's down below. Everything's down below in the description box. Done.